So hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'm gonna tell you regarding the POM architecture. So for like a automation tester point of view, that POM is kind of basic framework that everybody should need to know. Now most of that industry, they are basically dealing with hybrid framework. Some industries like that, even they are from banking domain or different domain, then they are dealing with that different framework like karate, like serenity framework. Now so many frameworks are there in market, but all frameworks, basic framework is POM framework. So POM is nothing but a page object model. So here what happened, we are creating that page object, and that we can locate that all page object in a we can say a proper test cases. We can call that object to a proper test cases. That's all here we are doing. So basically, what is a page object model? So let me start this thing. Actually, page object model, it is kind of designing pattern in test automation tool that creates a object repository for storing that web element. So here what we are doing, basically we have some pre-written script, like Java automation script or some pre-written script, where that we are calling that element. So like find by element method and all. But in page object model, we are segregating that our element, and we are segregating that our code. And instead of calling that element directly, we are creating that page as an object, and then we are calling that element by that help of method. So that's we are doing on this framework, guys. So basically, it separates the test logic and our page specific code, where that all modular will be well defined, and it will be well maintainable, it will be reusable. Okay, so basically means like why we are doing that, what is the purpose of that page object model. So page object model basically organize that our code. It will make it easier to understand. It will we can maintain it properly, we can do scaling. So this kind of thing we can do by that help of page object model. Okay, now why we need to use page object model, means what is the reason behind it. So first thing is like we have to maintain that our test script. Sometimes what happen, developer is developing some features, they are once like developed that features, they are changing some locators. Okay, sometimes it is like happening by that suddenly. Sometimes they only initially their approach was not changed to locators, but they change somehow. So for that we need to maintain that our test script. So because of that, we need to make that our test code as and more easier, and we can update it. Because of that, easy readability should be there, and instead of go and finding that element inside the page or code, we just need to select that page and need to change the element in that's all we need to do. It is kind of very easy process to maintain the test cases. Another is like it reduce that code duplication. Means like sometimes what happen, that we can duplicate our code. Sometimes same page element we gonna use in different script. So instead of that duplication, what we need to do, we just need to create a simple page element, and we can use that in a different method and all. So through that we can avoid that code repetition. We can duplicate that our instead of duplicating the code, we just need to write a single code, and we just need to call that same thing. So that is a kind of very helpful thing. For here our code will be very low. So it is kind of like we don't need to write that same thing, same code again and again. Another thing is that it will increase the readability. that have already explained you guys how it will increase the readability. So it is kind of like that. Instead, it is very easier to understand. Just we need to look at that all element in a single page, and just we need to call that. That's all we need to do. So it is very easier to read, easier to maintain, and we can use it in everywhere. So code reusability will be there. Now some benefits is happening in for using like POM. Benefit is in the sense of like here every page are independent. Each page inside that web element are encapsulated with that separate class. We can use that as we can create that class object. We can use their property, their method. So that is kind of thing. And that is, it is a reusable method, so we can create the reusable method, so we can use it in that those methods in a multiple like test scripts. Okay, so it will happen like much faster test execution. Another thing is like it is very easy to maintain. I already explained you guys how it is very easy to maintain. We can easily able to maintain that one. Another thing that is most important, that is centralized control. Centralized control in the sense of that, suppose I have 5 to 6 script. Inside that script I am using that same web element, or some button is there, all page that same button is there, and same button has been located by that same XPath or same kind of locator. So instead of writing that button code everywhere or every test script, I just need to create a page, and there I just define the button. I will create that one method and then call that method to that all different pages guys, or Java cases guys. So through that I can control that if that any problem will appear in that button, or if suppose my locator is getting failed for that button, instead of that changing that only one code, instead of that changing that code in all script, I just need to change that only one code guys. Through that I can use that one. So this is called centralized control. So it will make the test cases more modular. Now how to implement that POM in Selenium WebDriver. So basically here like I'm giving some rough example guys. I'll definitely show you that code how to do it, but so let me tell you first here, let me tell you the theory part of it. So theory part in the sense of that, first of all here we need to create the package for page object, and through that package we just need to define that all pages code and all pages class. That class has been encapsulated by some you can say like locators and all methods and locator. Second, that after creating class for each page, we can create that each part of the page as in Java code, like see login page.java, homepage.java. Then we need to define that web element in each page object class, like that by id, by XPath. So through that way we can call it to different script. Then we have to write that methods for page action, like that dot username, dot click method, those thing method we can write it on inside our test script. So this how we can implement that POM in Selenium WebDriver. Now here let me explain that folder structure for POM. So first is that our project name, then we have src. Now before that starting that one, suppose what kind of framework we are using, that is important here. Suppose we are using POM framework here, correct? So here we are using Maven as a tool or Gradle as a tool. So if we are converting or if we are creating that a Maven project, then this folder structure will be automatically built. We should not need to build it from by scratch. Okay, it will auto build it will. So first thing is that project name. Inside project name we have src folder or source folder. Inside source folder we have main and test. Inside main we have java. Inside the java we need to create that page object as in package. Inside package we need to define that our home page java, login page java. There we have to add our web element or locators and all things should be there on that page object. Then we have utility class. Here we have to define that our browser thing, configuration parameter, our suppose any kind of like initialize the browser, quitting the browser, all those things will be configuring here utility class. And suppose that any report is there, excel report is there, excel report reader is there, those things we can utilize it inside this utilities folder. Then we have a resources file. So this is a file, here we can pass that configure parameters like configure.property file. So we can read that, means like we here we will pass that url, we will pass that our username, password, and all those things will pass here. And then we have test. So test.java, here inside that test.java, here we will pass that our script like test login script. So those script we need to pass here. And inside that test java we have another thing called resources. So resources, here we can pass that our text engine or xml file, or we can pass that our chrome WebDriver, and all those things will be passed inside that resources file. And at last that our pom.xml for more dependencies added and all. So those things is a kind of folder structure for POM. Now here another thing is like page object class. So guys, here I have given one example. So first thing is that here I am creating a login page. So login page, first I am initialize that driver. So like here what I am doing, here I am calling the driver, and I am initializing that my WebDriver. And once it is done, then I have created the locators, and I am adding that locators into a variable. I'm creating that variable page login page element or variable. There I'm creating it, and I'm passing that value. And once it is done, then I'm creating that a method. And that method I am using that send keys or any kind of actions and parameters and all. So suppose if I want to use that same thing, I just need to create that object class as a login page, and I just need to call that method, and that method will do that all work. Okay. Now here another thing is that test class. So test class in the sense of that here our main code will be pre-written. So see that here I have created the login test one method as login test one class. Inside that class I have initialized that WebDriver and login page because that in this example I have created that login page as a class, so I need to initialize it here. And then I just use that before setup option here, that I am using Chrome driver, I am passing that URL. Those things we can configure that on our utility section, or we can use that configure.property for holding the data, like most required data like username, password, authentication, authorization token, and all. Okay. Now once it is done, then we here inside the test we have instead of calling the driver, here I am passing that like that our page object, and I am calling that method. So like that way we can segregate that our page and our code. Then we have POM dependencies. So POM dependency in the sense of that all dependencies we need to write inside that POM, so that Maven can be fetched from Maven can build that our project easily. We should not need to add that each and every element by that cherry picking it and put it on inside the resources file. So hello guys, so this is that my structure for POM framework. It is kind of demo structure. So let me explain regarding this POM framework. So basically here I am using this orange HRM tool. So this kind of demo tool for that for demo purpose I am using that one. Okay, so first thing first, I have already explained you like that what is the like POM folder structure and all. Now here I'll show you that code. So before starting that one, let me run this. So here test annotation run option is there. If I click on that, then our test engine will be run, and it will open that our like browser, Chrome browser, and then it will reload that, it will load that page, it will add that send element, and it will give us like a proper report here like pass. Now we can see that our report from here index.html. Here we can see that our like test case is getting passed and all. Okay. Now before start that one, let me explain you regarding this POM framework. Okay, So POM framework, it is nothing but a kind of page object model. So here inside that we have branch job folder like src slash main slash java. Inside that we have page object. So inside page object I have created login page. Okay, now same thing for here, like src slash test slash java. Inside that one we have two packages. Okay, so here we have two test script. One is like home script. I haven't written anything inside that home script, so I'm deleting it right now. It is not required. So and another we have login script. This is our login script and one base class. So and then we have testng .xml and pom.xml. So let me start from pom.xml. So all those dependencies we need to add on pom.xml. Okay, so dependencies in the sense of like all testng and selenium chrome driver and all, any kind of plugin is there, then we need to attach those. So here I have only added that three dependencies. Let me show you the three dependencies and all. So only that selenium dependencies, then selenium chrome driver dependency and testng dependencies. I have only added these three. Then we have testng.xml file. So testng.xml file, here we have a proper test suite and we have like our test script, like so if that we have a different script, then we need to add that our script to here. Okay, so this is our testng.xml script. Now thing is that here inside that test.java we have base method. Base, inside that base I have written some code regarding that our Chromium browser for headless mode and Chromium browser. So here I have initialized that driver and I have created that Chrome driver constructor and initialized inside that WebDriver interface. And then here I am passing that our URL. Okay, I can remove this one because this is a useless component, I don't need it. Then I have created that maximize, so it will maximize that our window. And then I have used that implicit await for waiting for that each and every element to be response, and I have used that page load timeout. And then I am passing that return like driver as a return. So this is my like simple method. Now suppose I want to run this thing to headless way, so I just need to remove this thing, actually uncommented this thing and try to save it. Now that here we have login script. Inside login script I have actually inherit the property from base. So it is so here I am inheriting it by that help of extend keyword. And once it is done, then inside that one I have initialized that WebDriver, and then I am calling this browser method. So this browser method is there inside the base. Okay, now here that login page, so here I have created one login page object. So before that and I'm parsing some kind of method, and then I have one assertion class. There I am checking that our like login page title is proper or not. Okay, then after that one I am quitting that our like browser. So this simple case I have done. Now that two script I have explained, first is login script and another is our base script. Now here login page, now let me tell you inside the page what is happening here. Here I am not using any kind of page factory. Those who doesn't know about page factory, I will explain it later on that different video. Now here I am using that simple thing, like I have initialized that WebDriver, then I'm using like that our custom web element. I am locating it by that help of locators like CSS electrics path and all, and I am like initialize that all those things inside this one. Then once it is done, then here I have initialized that our like page login page method. Inside method I have passed that WebDriver, and here like inside that driver I am using that this keyword for distinguished between that our instance driver and that our passes driver in the sense of like here I am passing that driver. The driver will be coming to here and it will store inside this driver. Okay, so like that way, for that I am using this keyword. Now once it is done, now I have created a branch of methods. Inside that methods I am pursuing the driver. So that driver, then I'm using find element method, and I'm giving that this located inside here, and I'm using that send key name. That name I am passing from here, actually this name. So once like I have initialized this login page as an object, and then I am calling that method name, and I'm passing that value here. That value, it will come to here, and come to here, send keys, and then it will execute. Like that way I have created that branch of 3 methods, and inside that methods I have passing some values, and then I am checking that assertion. So it is a very simple page object model, guys. I can run it, so it will take some time. Now it will run on headless way, because that I have removed that chromium, or I have using that chromium option as an headless. And once it is done, then I can see that our report inside this inside this console. See guys, here I am getting that proper report. Okay, so this is that a simple automation script with that POM architecture. But here I have not used any kind of page factory in the sense of here we need to use that find by annotation, and then we need to this is kind of same thing inside that. Here we just need to write one extra code that is called page factory, and then we can call that same thing to login script. So this is that most good thing. It is a very easy to understand POM architecture. Now guys, if you guys have any kind of query, please comment on that video. I'll try to solve those query. Now we have some best practices for implementing that POM structure inside that our page. So best practices in the sense of that, first is encapsulation is nothing but here we are capsulating it for our all web element as in private, and we can only expose that public methods for interacting with them. Okay, so like that here what we are doing here like we have to create a private variable. There we can pass that our web element, and we just only expose that public method so that anybody can use that public method. They will not directly put directly able to allocate or directly able to expose we like this private web element, guys. Another thing is like method naming in the sense of that it is we need to use most useful method name so that anybody can go through that our code, anybody can able to understand, anybody can able to read that our code properly. Without that method naming we cannot we also sometimes it is very difficult to identify the bug, and we cannot do we cannot use that one. Or sometimes for maintaining purpose also method naming is a very popular thing. The thing is that for handling the dynamic elements we need to use that XPath or CSS locator effectively. So finding the XPath is a most crucial thing for a automation tester point of view. So finding that XPath and CSS, it is very difficult sometimes, because sometimes some component doesn't have a proper XPath, because it is a dynamic component. It is changing its like ID or class name and all things. So we need to write that XPath effectively. And for weight we need to more use explicit weight instead of using implicit weight or other weight. So fluent weight is very useful, guys, but mostly most good thing is like we need to use explicit weight instead of using implicit and thread slip. Now for a real world application for POM is like, first is scalability. We can write that in number of automation cases, in number of pages inside that POM we can use it. So it will be, we should not need to do restructuring again and again, and it will be very good for that maintain purpose. And the thing is it have also cross browser support. Here we can easily integrate that cross browser thing. So we just need to write that if browser is Chrome, then it will initiate Chrome driver. driver. If browser is Firefox, then it will initiate the Firefox driver. Like that way we can define it properly. Another thing is like here we can integrate with that CI/CD pipeline. So POM works is very perfectly for CI/CD tool like Jenkins, Maven, automated the larger scale for deployment purpose. We can use it. So this kind of good thing for a POM. Now my conclusion is that so POM is kind of a design pattern that is used for creating the modular and scalable framework, automation framework. Another thing is that we can separate segregating that our page instruction and logic and page web element and logic, and also we can enhance that our test structure and improve that our test maintenance. As well as that we can start implementing that POM today for optimize that our automation practices. Okay, so guys, that's all about this video. I hope this video is helpful for you guys. If you guys have any doubt, please let me know. If I'll surely answer for all those query and questions. And thank you guys, thanks for your valuable time, thanks for your watching. Please give me the feedback for that and let me grow. Subscribe my channel and help me to grow in YouTube.